for Vincent Sora and Nick Crawford. Should be a great battle. And as I put in Race Day Info, everybody has a right to race. We're not saying don't race hard, just be smart about it. If you're around, a championship driver, just be extra careful and avoid any unnecessary risks that could affect the championship. And if we see you doing anything maliciously, manipulate the race, or intentionally wrecking, or intentionally impeding championship drivers to help a teammate, then we will deal with those offenders with heavy penalties, as we've done in the past. So, yeah, just keep that in mind. But let's all race hard. Let's be smart. Let's be respectful, and it'll be a good race.
All right, well, welcome in, everybody. Welcome in. Monday night. Here's the last race here in Season 6 here in the ISRC Truck Series. Last 4 drivers going for a championship here. Got Vincent Sora, Nick Crawford, John Forbes, and Justin Campbell all going for the championship here. Yeah, but we have 150 laps at hand here in the last race of the season. Looks like we're going to be starting 19th here, so, just looking to just have a good end of the season. It's been a tough season for sure. It hasn't gone the way we wanted, but that's how it goes sometimes in racing. We'll hopefully look to bounce back for Season 7.
No, don't you dare.
But, yeah, here we are. I'm going to have a little... Gonna try something a little different here on the channel. Gonna try having the actual live broadcast of the race playing in the background as well. See how that goes. See if it sounds good or not. Saw this idea from a fellow league member in a different league I race with, Ken Campbell, and his channel, Campbell Racing. But yeah, I wanted to give it a shot. See how it sounds, and y'all can let me know. Go ahead and put it on.
It tends to get worse now.
And we'll get ready to grid up.
Gets worse and worse as the run
goes
goes
on.
on. So
I
think
so
at any point,
appreciate y'all tuning in, like always.
Off the exits of these corners, because like that we just seen right there, it happens in a blink of an eye. If you get that damage,
see how it goes for us
in Season 2, you won't be winning the championship. You have to keep a clean truck. You have to stay on the lead lap and have to have a possibility to win this, because it's the top finisher of those 4 that will take on the championship.
Again, thank you so much to everyone that's joining with us here tonight for this championship race on Freaky Fast Broadcasting for the ISRC Larry R Productions Truck Series. Your Season 6 has been an incredible one for us to cover throughout this season. It's been pretty top heavy on the dominance. We've seen drivers get into victory lane, but tonight could really change things up. 4 drivers enter, but only 1 will leave a champion here tonight. As we finish off warm-ups, that means we're done with practice. We're done with qualifying. We're done with the warm-up.
All right, welcome in.
All that's left is 150 laps to
give it a
crown
shot here.
Your Season 6 champion. As the field is starting to grid up, we want to say thank you to Hot Lap Threads for being our starting grid sponsor. As if you'd like to go get your racing style tees, hoodies, t-shirts, and more, head on over
again,
to
shout out to
again, to get your swag.
Another fellow league race member, Ken Campbell.
We are ready for tonight's race.
WSSR.
Pole award winner goes to Vincent Sora.
Has broadcast running in the background. I thought it was a neat idea. Wanted to drive myself.
With the most. Jared Talmadge, identical time, but it goes down to that 4th digit. He'll fall to 2nd place. Then our second championship for Nick Crawford in 3rd position. Our 3rd championship contender will start in 4th. John Forbes. Then in 5th, we find Thomas Green. Cedric Hunter will start 6th. 7th is Danny Cochran. Ollie Fonseca in 8th. 9th is Samuel Garcia. And in 10th, it's Anthony Claudio.
Oh my god.
Entering tonight's race.
Starting in
yeah, I'm
the
like
16
19,
color,
so.
Joshua Kanata. Alongside of the other of the final 4 contenders is Justin Campbell in the 9 and 12. 13th is going to go to the 98 of Malik Kuntz, with 14th in qualifying being held by GT Irizarry. 15th is going to be the 01 of Aaron Krolick. 16th is going to be the 38 of Christopher Norris, with the 17th position going to Mason Cassidy, a return for him tonight. 18th is going to go to the 25 of Cody Reed. 19th in qualifying is going to go to the 5 of Dakota Moniz. And rounding out the top 20 is going to be Ryan Ferraro, with our final 3 trucks on the field being 21st of Justin Malarkey, 22nd Martin Morales, and rounding out our 23 truck field is Tyler Dingler.
23 drivers expected to enter tonight's race. Still waiting for a few to get into their starting positions. But tonight, again, a championship race. Got to message and talk to the championship 4 drivers, get their thoughts entering tonight, and ask them what were their thoughts of what it would feel like to win this championship.
All right, last few seconds
again,
here.
3 of the 4
Kick off the last race of the season here. See if we can kick it off strong.
Nick Crawford says he doesn't know what it would mean. He never thought he would win one, winning a second one. Feel it almost impossible.
Jesse!
Feel incredible for himself. For Vincent
Traffic
Sora,
must have been a
he said it
little
would mean
hectic
a lot,
there for you.
especially due to the fact that with the strength
California
of
traffic is always
season
hectic.
1 to season 6. This would be
She
impressive
just
for
ran him
himself.
off
He had to
the road,
knock off some rust, and being the first driver to have a 2-time championship would be special.
Should've just Denny Hamlin him
The
right off
one
the
driver
fucking
to do
road.
it with only 2 seasons under his belt, that would be even more impressive. John Forbes also a driver who's won the championship in the past, and he said this would just be a great
You know,
way to
I will
cap
always
off
be
a
sad that we don't
decent
see
race.
the
And for a
pace
rookie
car
entering this
obliterate
season,
itself into the
I think
outside
it's the
barrier
Final Four for
anymore.
Justin Campbell. Winning this championship would be
All right, appreciate y'all tuning in.
For me. I hadn't been on R18 real long whenever it done that.
I know Justin
That
Campbell
was
comes in
that
with
was
a lot of
something
real
else.
life racing
Catch up to car number 17.
compared to a lot of these drivers.
It was the best.
24 people for the last race of the season, pretty decent turnout. So, hell yeah, love to see it. Get started. Good luck, boys. Let's have a strong finish to this season.
Every season. And tonight we get
Last, let's go!
Let's
go, baby!
Let's do 1, 2, 3, but backwards. Last place.
Joke's on you. This is golf.
Quick speed back in the season that he won the championship.
All right, let's do it.
Similar fate here
All right,
tonight at
Dakota,
Homestead.
here we go.
He'll start
Don't fool
on the
yourself.
front row.
Go, go, go.
15, and you watch out for the rest of the field. How will they react with the hot temperatures and the hot competition? It is time for your championship race. Your ISRC finale.
Easy in the one here. Whoa, on cold tires.
Clear outside.
They roar down into turn number 1.
Already getting a little, yeah, cold tires is going to be the problem here.
Level starts out here on lap 1 of 150. They got that lap 40 stays, but no points is worried about these drivers. It's all about finishing ahead of each other. So right now,
Oh, Cody Reed high up the track.
leading this race is Vincent Sora of clean 1 and 2 down in the
Starts
field
okay.
for the
Let's get
rest of
stuck
the
in.
sizable gap, but it's going to be Nick Crawford working that inside group.
A lot of drivers going to be picking and choosing. You run the middle groove, then find out a little bit of extra speed off the exit of the corner, or do you run that white line, protect your tires? Some think about peeking a little bit closer to that outside wall, but lap number 1 goes to Vincent Sora, and for our final 4 drivers,
Try to be easy on the tires here.
Top 3, it's Vincent Sora, Nick Crawford, John Ford,
Outside.
the favorites to try to become the first driver to be
Clear
a
outside.
2-time champion, and Vincent Sora is raging forward.
Everyone's
But
still
again,
packed
watch
up
out
real tight
for
right now.
Justin Campbell.
Clear on the
He's
high
all the way
side.
back in 13th position. He's got a lot of work to get forward, but he's stuck in the middle in a gaggle of a mess of this field in the middle of the field.
Love this racetrack. You get to see everybody spread out. Justin Campbell's getting a good
Car in
view
front
of
of us
that
is
right
now
now.
car number
Back there.
2001.
You know, for
The
him,
rating
I
is
feel like that's,
3.7.
John Ford's taking the lead up front. Actually, already making a big move on Vincent Sora.
Holy
So
shit.
huge for the 11 team. Try to get back out front here and get that clean air. But the one thing about it is those
There's a
front
car on
three
the
run
roadside.
together. If they get into a little mishap, they're all together.
Hold
They
your
may
line.
get involved. If you're Justin Campbell, that is one benefit.
Hold your
You're
line.
farther back, or maybe you can miss it.
And that's one of the things
Hold
that
your
happened
line.
last season in the championship race where the senior
Hold your line.
riders
The leader
like
is just
each other
done
around one by one and allowed
33.76.
John Ford
The guy
to get
behind
the
is just
championship
done
for Justin Campbell. He's in the
33.91.
thick of things, but at
Still
least
there.
he knows he's
Just low line, where it's at.
competition and the other drivers, the way they're racing, it's just a little bit more traffic. You gotta find yourself to wander through as Campbell giving a huge pinch to Christopher Norris. That's a driver that's a risky move to make on the 38, putting that much pressure on the kid.
Yeah,
but
Cody Reed is moving.
makes the move, still work, has the run, and will slot himself now up to 12th position. Your top 3 still your championship drivers, but Christopher Norris not just lane away, but the battle for 4th place. I gotta say,
D20. You've
watch
just
out
done
for the 25. Cody Reed,
34.22
the
with the
biggest
car
mover
inside.
so far.
Still there.
And he's really been using these tires on the outside.
Hold your line.
Get concerned. The 25 machine.
Still there.
He is really using these tires in these first 5 laps.
Hold your line.
This is one thing I watched during the practice session, guys.
Still there.
To go to the top, they find tons of
Still
speed.
there.
As old, the two's going to close the
Inside
middle
clear.
there. Or we're sorry, the 24.
Car inside.
I'm sorry to say, all if I second, they're going to close the
Big
door.
checkup on the bottom
Still
here.
there.
You go up there and find the speed. It is definitely there.
Hold your line.
Quicker than that's at the bottom. But the one concern is going to be
Still
those
there.
tires.
Clear
You can see
inside.
the 24 that going by. They're using every bit of real estate
P19.
at Homestead. We'll see if it comes back to hurt them. But right now, they're trying to use it to go forward.
getting the track position in for Cody Reed. I talked to the 25 who just missed out on making the final four.
Still there.
Mistakes the last.
I wasn't black enough to give it to you.
Hold that line.
To move on and race for a championship.
Hold your line.
Talk about the fact that if he wins this race here tonight,
Hold your
or if
line.
he finishes ahead of the other final four, how heartbreaking of a
Still
race
there.
this would be, knowing that if he just made the final
Hold
four,
that line.
he could have been a contender.
I don't know if I'm being too nice to my tires.
Hold your line.
But instead,
50's in the wall ahead of us.
Hold your line.
as we won't have
P20.
one championship race.
Still there.
Missed turn one completely.
Won the
Inside.
race on season 2 here at Homestead.
Hold your
Cody
line.
Reed's hoping to steal a little bit of that magic here tonight.
Still there. Hold your line.
Alert teammate here to the inside of us.
Still there. Clear inside.
Try to tuck him behind him, I guess.
Right now, let's send the 2 Danny Cocker back here in the 9th position. He's always a quick one at Homestead. Like you said, Sailor, I think he could be a spoiler for just the race.
Still there.
He's always had that sneaky long run speed.
Still there.
Watch for that too.
Your inside's clear.
P21,
Carlo. Your lap time was at 24.50.
Falling back.
Still there.
Qualifying runs telling me that.
Both sides clear.
Conserve those good your tires, not use them up too much. We'll see if the drivers who are really pushing hard have to pay a price later.
I don't know if I'm being too damn nice to my tires or what.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't know if I'm abusing them.
Thomas Green's in a race between some of his other competition between himself and Tyler Dangler.
Just, I feel like I'm being easy, but
I feel like I'm being maybe too easy. That's I don't know.
yeah, I don't know.
Stage points will matter for this 18. Everyone else
22nd
really
place.
not as
I
much.
feel like I'm being easy, but I'm moving forward, so I don't know. We'll see in a few laps here.
40 will be the race
Okay, Dakota. Lap times are pretty consistent.
And this first 40 laps, Zach, how crucial it is for the field to get all this knowledge of how this track's going to react here tonight, especially on
The next car is Ferrari 34. Their rating is 2.5.
this race.
You're exactly right, Sam. This first 40 laps is going to be so huge for the knowledge as we get to see the weather down there. Not a 98-degree track temp right now, so on the, it's hot, but it's on the cooler side of things also.
You've
so
just
that
done a
should
34.35.
trickle down a little bit, find a little more grip around certain areas of the track. But the biggest thing for me is
There's a car outside.
figuring
Clear
out
up high.
how the speed and drop off on the fall is going to be. Nobody's really had that true test to say, let somebody get out there and run laps like we're seeing John Forbes, who is very, very quick out front. Will that come back to pay a price for him, or is he doing a good job of just managing his stuff out there? It's really going to be one of those tells that when we get to that lap 40 stage, we're going to learn a lot more because these drivers can go about 55 laps of fuel later in this race. That's what they're going to need to do for this thing.
10 laps in, and the stability on this 25 is incredible. He is really making this outside lane work and continues to push his way forward, up 16 positions from where he qualified. This has been a historic run for Cody Reed, but the rest of the field thinking otherwise. No one else is really truly thinking about that outside row.
Big gaggle in midfield here.
Decided to move up to the middle lane. Cody's the only one risking this outside run, and 25's looking quick. He wants to take the lead position as fast as possible, but there's the risk and reward. Scrubs the outside wall, going to lose second place, and how much more is going to be the big question.
Here comes Fonseca from behind in the 24. He's going to look low going into one. We'll see if Reed can get that momentum back flowing up on that top side. But like you said, that's the risk versus reward up there. You flirt with disaster every single lap when you enter up against that wall. It's very easy just to misjudge it by a couple mile an hour. That's all it takes. You go in there about 2-3 mile an hour over the pace of what it can do, and you're up in that wall. And
All right, 3 wide up there. Well, they were for a second.
Straight to the bottom. It's just like, we'll see down here how this works. That only concern for me though is how fast, how many positions he gained. Those tires look to be already pretty hurt.
Early here tonight, ladies and gentlemen, I want to say thank you again for joining with us. And if you have a fan favorite driver you're rooting for, put their name, put their number in the chat. We'd love to see who you're rooting for this evening. And if you're one of the fans of the Final Four, that means the 11 of John Forbes, the 74 of Nick Crawford, the 15 of Vincent Sora, or the 9 of Justin Campbell, put their number in the chat of who you think is going to win the championship here tonight. Still early on, only on lap 13. A lot can change here this evening. We've seen that happen plenty of times throughout all these championship races. The early going of a run never really sets up how the end of this race is going to be at all. As you're seeing Cody Reed continuing to drop back, and those tires, they were incredible for those first 10 laps, but starting to show weakness now even on the outside.
That he is. He's going to fight back to the quarter panel on the 15, who almost closed the door, but I think Vincent Sora, knowing that the 25's got his teammates up there, he's not going to just roll over for him and let him pass. I think he knows he had to give back up that outer group. 25 slot in, but right here, loose for the 25, 15.
That was at 34.45.
Pass from Vince Sora back into the top 4. Now you're also seeing Joshua Kanata. He's starting to make a little bit of a climb forward. He started in the 11th position, so he's another driver that's really made a lot of progress for him.
A driver that was a part of the Final Four last season. Same for Ollie Fonseca, Danny Cochran, that raced against John Forbes for the Season 5 championship. And seeing some of those competitors even running well tonight. I know talking to Joshua Kanata, he was a little bit nervous about this race. About an hour before the session went up, really had zero confidence about how.
Ooh, just a kiss.
Maybe closer to the middle of the field, and I gotta say, this is an impressive run, being inside of the top 10 and trying to take away this 5th place position for himself.
That he is. This is definitely an impressive run right now for him. He'll start off the race and drive right into the top 5. And the thing about him is where Reed, he really drove up there very quickly. Kanata's kind of done it more slow and methodical, and also I'm seeing that his truck just looks a little bit more stable. It's up ahead of Kanata. We're starting to see the 15 starting to slowly make some headway back forward, trying to gain that track position back with Vincent Sora. Now fighting the likes of the 24 Fonseca. They'll be side by side down this front straight.
Trying to figure out these big moves as we are closing in on halfway through this stage. Talmadge dropping it down low on the 25 machine, trying to make his way forward as quickly as he can. And update on the 9 of Justin Hale again. Still not able to move forward. Still stuck in that 12th to 13th and 14th position. Just no momentum for the 9 machine. The thing that's hurting
all right on top of each other.
Trucks that are trying to get by the 9, and some of them are known for their aggression. As Campbell continues,
top and 1 and 2 feels good, but 3 and 4 is just too tight.
10 more.
I tell you what, these guys are not rolling over for that Final Four contender. So right now, Campbell definitely in the midst of it, same back here. But I like what he's doing. He's not being too aggressive. He's being kind of methodical. He had a back qualifying run. The thing I think here he needs to focus on is that lap 40 stage. He just needs to get some track position out. Right now he's in 13th, so he hasn't.
Oh, Kuntz really high up the track there.
But if he's done a good job here to manage,
I think he got the wall.
Oh,
Dingler sideways.
We'll just see how it works out for him because right behind
yeah, I think Kuntz got the wall a bit.
They certainly are getting hungry. I saw the 98 machine of Blake Kuntz getting close to the outside wall. Tyler Dingler also snapping loose. Also in front of this field, Cody Reed had another scary moment off the exit of turn 4, scraping the wall and going a little bit loose. Luckily didn't involve any other drivers.
Oh man!
Starting to see those that push a little bit aggressively. Their tire wear is starting to show now as we're again here at lap 20. And Zach, you noted on it, it only gets worse from here.
It really does. It just continues to compound that rear end kicking out. And what kind of makes it even worse is a lot of these drivers will fight a condition where the truck doesn't want to turn. It'll get into the corner, it doesn't want to turn. They're cranking on that wheel to turn it left and get it, to go on the bottom. And then all of a sudden the rear end kicks out. And that's what we call the snap loose condition, is what a lot of people call it, because it's just like in a snap of your fingers, all of a sudden the balance of the truck will shift from one end to the other. So it's very easy to make mistakes with that happening, but also just misjudge how to drive your car. Sometimes
Tyler's in the wall a bit.
Fix that, but you're actually doing the wrong thing because it's the first condition that's really playing into the last condition, balance.
And St. Justin Campbell again fighting for his life to stay in this 13th position.
Okay, Dakota, the next car is car number 19. Their rating is 1.8. Hold your line.
Also, if you're just looking down in the chat, we have put up a poll. Who do you think is going to try to win this championship between the 11 John Forbes, the 15 of Vincent Sora, the 9 of Justin Campbell, or the 74 of Nick Crawford? Currently, there's 4 people that have voted in.
You're clear outside.
50% of the votes have called for John Forbes to be the driver to win, and currently he is doing
inside.
just that up front, leading the way, leading the charge.
Still there.
And he is not
B21.
giving up this
Clear
position.
low.
Anything.
Car inside.
This lead position has continued to grow.
Still there.
We took a look at the 11.
Clear low.
That's exactly right.
Car
Nick
low.
Crawford right now seems to be falling back a little bit.
Still there.
Last time by about a 10 slower.
Hold that line.
He's got Vince closing the gap in.
Good racing by me and Tyler there.
Last time before this, but most recently about 200 or 300 slower than John Forbes. But he is starting to get in that dirty air condition of that 74. We'll see if the 15 can get past the 74. Let's see what kind of pace he has. But already 22 laps into the run, John Forbes showing very good pace, but just, popping off a 34.75 this late into the run. That is impressive. And looking to, be kind of like what he did in Texas.
Yeah, he was
what's the stage again?
Up front in Texas and continued to
think it's
4-0, I
Others
think.
weren't able to. Continues to fight. Speaking
Car
of
on the
fighting
low side.
back and forth for 5th place. Jared's all
Hold your line.
Canada get a
Clear
little bit
low.
close with one another, but keeping it to where drivers are now starting to search for speed, and Canada into the
Oh, Tyler's dying!
also all defense standing
No,
close to the
Tyler.
wall in the 16, looking similar like Cody Reed, where you're bouncing off the wall and slowly you're trying to hold steady. As they're almost 3 wide, but trouble even further on back. Tyler Dankler, huge slide and almost bring up a yellow. We stayed green for the 19.
Damn, man.
Slow as he spun on the front stretch.
Big save from him off that exit of 4. And, you know, he was running on the seams, and you'll see these lines in the racetrack, folks. You can see down the back straightaway here. Those lines starting the track.
Good
That
time
is
for the
the
top of your
different
foot ditch.
strips of asphalt. And you're going to see here, Dingler's going to go down below it.
Long lap was
Washes
at
up a little bit. Now the right side
35.45.
tires, left side below it. And those are the banking changes. It is progressively banked more and more. When you have that flatter surface on the bottom of those
21st.
seams, it's going to make that truck really want to turn, so to say.
And we
You can see it
are,
right there. It just stepped
yikes.
out and got into the inside wall again a little bit, so that's going to hurt him when it comes to damage with that left front. But luckily, it wasn't worse than what it could have been.
Yeah, no
Cody
required
Reed is
damage.
dropping
Tyler
like a
Dankler
rock.
race on, and his ultimate goal is just to stay
Who?
in the lead lap
Cody.
before the end
Oh.
of the stage, or if he does go
Yeah, I was gonna say he was fucking moving on at the start.
Car lap down once the stage yellow is thrown. As look at some of the other battles
good
on the
consistency.
track.
Keep
Here's
it up.
Joshua Kanata and Danny Cochran. The two Danny Cochran, you know, when you're not in the championship race or running as the final 4, Zach, sometimes drivers don't put in as much effort as we've seen in past races. I think that's kind of what we're starting to see. Some drivers they put minimal amount of practice in to make sure they're competitive, but we're expecting our championship 4 to be the ones that win here tonight. One of those things where those are the drivers that always put the most practice in.
That's a
to
nice,
make sure they're
good, that's a
winning
good
position.
blue paint down there. I was really
It's
enjoying
always
it.
funny to see when you get those championship 4 races, so to say that. It's usually 1, 2, 3, 4 in that race. And it's just that way.
I might go check it out
It
next time
really
around
comes
too.
down to
It was pretty
it's
nice.
preparation.
You also try it?
If you know you're racing for a championship, you're going to go out there and prepare as much as possible. And I can tell you, folks,
Does anyone
the best
know
way
what's
to get
blue
fast
but smells like red paint?
is put in laps. And that's what a lot of these guys have done who have prepared for this. And it's showing right now for our top 3 being John.
Oh boy, blue paint.
Now Campbell struggling a little bit back to 12th, but he's still got a long race to go, of course. But it is that usual thing.
The lap time was 35.61.
Be dominant.
Oh, what's going on here?
They might come into this race with a little less effort into it because, you know, no reason to really prepare when you're not racing.
Yeah, I don't know if that second time was on purpose or what.
Yeah, it was.
Backwards at one moment, was almost in a position to fight for a second place and almost for the lead, but now is falling outside of the top 15, 18th place, and giving us a good picture of if you push to
Hold on to it, Jesse.
early on. This is what you're going to be rewarded with.
Yeah,
It's
report
just a
back. I did
vehicle
burn my
that's
stuff
mad
up.
at you.
10-4.
Every single
Clear
lap.
low.
As Cody Reed now falls to 19th position with Brian Ferraro.
There's a car on your
trying to
inside.
get this pass. As we have, we're coming
Hold your
up
line.
to 10 laps to go left in this stage.
Still
before
there.
The yellow flag will come out. As Cody
Still
Reed
there.
continues to hold
Clear
steady
inside.
as long as he can. Do want to talk about our top driver, John Forbes, as well as Nick Crawford, teammates from Snowy Desert Racing, the past 2 season championship winners. Nick Crawford, winner of season 4. Last season, championship winner of John Forbes. If one of them win, again, they will become the first drivers to become a 2-time champion. But as a team, it would be 3 in a row for Snowy Desert Racing. I think that would be one of the more incredible things.
See if
to
we can't
happen.
run down this gaggle of cars here.
Ahead is now
Can they continue
1.8.
that
I think the
run?
stage is 40.
Will it be this driver, Vincent Sora, that could steal the show from them?
He got up in the second. You know, we talked about it once he got past Nick Crawford. What would his speed be like? He got up in the second, and he's pretty much matched. John
Okay.
Forbes. That I think is
Car
the
ahead is
issue.
Reed,
It's
25.
I mean, I
Racing
tried to
is
listen to
5.3.
matching or
Yeah,
Vincent's
let's
a little
have a
bit
reaction.
quicker. So it's kind of
Take
a push
even
and
that
shove
little bit of
when
clean
it
air
comes
you can
to
feel.
the front. And that tells me that Vince Sort's not going to have to be able to give up as much track position for easy things and gain it back. So we'll see what he learns from this 40-lap run. But those 2 up front look to be the top 2, especially when it comes to watching lap times.
Clear production scheme trucks trying to battle between one another. Not part of the same team, but under the same sponsor. You're seeing Danny Cochran in the
Okay,
2,
Dakota, the next car is Ferrari on 34. Their rating is 2.5.
Cody Reed with a slide job on Ferraro.
Giving a little of that dirty air also helps
That lap
is
time was
you're gonna see also behind me,
35.57.
on the 3 machine having a little bit of
Cody
a
Reed in the
slide.
wall.
But these trucks, Zach, it was just a few weeks ago that they got their major update. Really changed the aero side of things for these trucks, the handling. I think tonight, yes, for some of those that aren't racing for a championship, it's kind of heartbreaking that you're not in that.
I'm hitting about everything but my racing line.
Prepare for next season. This is going to be massive.
Oh, for sure. This is a huge learning curve. I mean, the switch that we got with that update has changed how these trucks drive almost.
Martin loose behind us.
So you took things you learned throughout the season.
35.49.
Probably haven't worked right now. So right now, I think the biggest thing is learn through these final few races, prepare through the off season. So when you come back, you have a grasp on this because it looks like, in my opinion, at least looking at the mile and a half stuff, John Forbes has really got something figured out. He's really put in the work, and he's figured out what this build needs to drive like. And that's sometimes what it takes, you know, just figuring out what the intricacies of each update are. And, man, I tell you what, some of these drivers are going to be definitely taking notes from that.
And trying to take one position away. You see the wiggling of the purple machines, but it's the gray. Number 9 of Justin Campbell has made his way forward at least 2 positions from the last time we talked about the
20th place.
Moved his way inside of the top 10 with his pass on the 16 of Joshua Kanata. And right ahead you see the 3 of Anthony Gadio. Very closely here to the end of this stage. Also,
Damn.
those that have not voted yet, we've got ourselves 7 votes.
Still there.
Who you think is going to win this championship?
Hold your
Will
line.
it be the 11 of John
Inside
Forbes
clear.
who leads the race currently, or will it be the 15 of Vincent Sora who's in second, third being the 74 of Nick Crawford, or
All right,
the 9
Dakota,
machine
that's good
of
consistency.
Justin
Keep it up.
Campbell.
B21.
Currently, it's
That
John
lap time
Forbes
was
leading
35.76.
over Vincent Sora, but it could be swing very quickly if we start to see some more votes again. If you aren't able to vote, we'd love it to put in the chat. Who are you rooting for here tonight? We've already seen Lenny, Cody Reed's dad, cheering for Cody, and we've also seen Seth rooting for Vincent Sora. So a couple of fans out there rooting for their favorite drivers on the championship race here tonight. Thank you again for joining with us as we have ourselves 5 more laps to go before the stage yellow will be thrown and it will reset the field. Zach, I feel like that reset could really change things up on
The rating is 5.3.
Yeah, it will. I think you're going to see a huge switch up. You know, it's still going to be a longer run that we need later in the races. Oh, great pass here from looks like Center Carter making the move there. Jared Thomas just got by the 74 Nick Crawford along with Danny Cochran. So
outside.
Crawford here falling from 3rd back to 6th here quickly.
Still there.
Laps of the stage, but I think there's going to be a lot
Hold
to
your
take
line.
away from this run. Now, knowing
See how hard Cody's going to race me here.
especially with it going all the way green. If we
Hold
had
your line.
yellows in between, it'd be
Your high
kinda
side's
hard to
clear.
judge how to drive the
You've
truck
just done a
in the 501 race.
35.82.
But I
Get a
think
car on the
now
high
knowing
side.
What
Clear
they
high.
have learned, it's going to be much more interesting when we take off this next time.
As we see it again, the battling between Jared Thomas
Cool.
and Cedric Hunter. This is for the battling position for 4th place between the 7 and the 10. John Forza leads the charge, 2 seconds over Vincent Sora, 2 seconds between Danny Cochran and Vincent Sora as well. Cedric Hunter, usually a strong driver here at Homestead, just trying to take in this race as much as he can with every passing lap, taking that knowledge. 3 laps to go, though, before the stage yellow will be thrown. Tonight, John Forbes looking the strongest of all drivers. Your biggest mover so far here tonight is Danny Cochran of 4 spots. The former biggest mover, Cody Reed, who's fallen out in 20th position. And a driver that has lost the most spots is actually going to be Seven Garcia, down to 17th
Car
place.
low.
Great qualifying.
Yeah, we fucked it here at the end.
Still there.
Down to 17th place. We're seeing
Still there.
a couple of different duels behind the 2 of Danny Cochran.
Clear on the inside.
Drivers just
You've got a
settling
car
in for
inside.
now is going to be trying to at least take 2
Still
more
there.
spots before the stage yellow is
Clear on the
thrown. It's
inside.
Justin Campbell in the 9, trying to set up Thomas Green as well as Anthony Gadia.
Car high.
We talked about it earlier. Thomas Green was
Still
like
there.
some stage points. He actually does have points that matter for that.
Still there.
Best of the rest championship, and right now, Campbell
Still
he needs
there.
to go fight for the championship, so he needs to make these passes
Hold your line.
quickly before these stages.
Your outside is clear.
He's going to get one done there on the 18, but a little loose off the exit of 4. Great save. I tell you what, Green just played so nice with him there. He could have totally ran right to the back of him or tried to go to his outside, but he played nice, let the 9 gather it up, and Green's going to hold on the 10th right now, which will still be 1 bonus point for that 18 trip.
And with Tyler Dangler, the driver that Thomas Green is really racing with here tonight for that Best of the Rest championship, that's $40 on the line between those two drivers. It is a 4-point difference entering tonight. Tyler Dangler back in 24th after his big slide.
Got a full course caution, watch out.
He was kind of worried. Thomas Green really has been hitting.
And there's the stage caution. Holy shit.
As yellow flag is
Well,
out, that
pretty
is your
much.
stage, and John Forbes, your stage.
Well, that was terrible.
Grab that one
Yeah.
stage bonus point for himself, but Zach, that's a quick 40 laps.
We're under caution, pits are closed, pace cars out, line up single file behind car number 25.
I tell you, it was pretty interesting to watch there. Vince
Oh
got
man, that was rough.
behind. Nick Crawford was about a second and a half and lost a little bit of time, fell back to 2 seconds, and then kind of stayed there. So these two got some similar pace, but the thing that 11 has is he's got pace throughout the whole run. Vince sort of had to give up a little bit on the front end. John Forbes, though, amazing through all 40 laps.
Well, we're going to let these drivers pace.
Well, comes flat 4 fresh tires on it here.
But those first 40 laps, really a lot of knowledge to take in for the drivers and for ourselves. I mean, those that protected their tires really were able to move forward
Equals yellow, pits are
after
open.
20 laps. That was probably one of the crazier things to watch, Zach. I knew that we've seen that in the past. To protect your tires, you're going to get rewarded. But in the old pack, it just seemed like that was so hard to do at times at mile and a half tracks. It was kind of more of you were rewarded if you were being aggressive early on. And we just saw there, everyone that stayed on that white line all throughout the run, able to move up
Leaders
into the top
pitting
10.
now.
Exactly right, Sam. You know, like you said, normally with the order package, we would have seen people who gave up a ton of spots like that.
Watch your speed. Pit lane speed limit is 50 miles per hour.
They would, you know, still be able to run fast
We
time.
will need
they
to
just
stop
get
again.
stuck
Box
behind.
in 5,
Right now,
4,
it seems like you
3,
can really
2,
work your
1.
way back forward. So that
Box
is good
now.
to see. I tell you what, though, they're going to have to figure out something with the 11 because
See what our
he was able
tires
to lead
were
the
at
whole
there.
race. And that is
58,
something that's
75.
up front. It's only a slide through the box almost threw him there. He's luckily didn't have to back up, had to lock up a little bit, and he'll get that jacked up because that could have lost him some track.
Yeah, it could have been a very major throwaway for the 11 machine. A couple of other drivers did slide through their boxes. Danny Cochran, one of those, but exiting pit road, it's all John Forbes, even with the big slide. It's
You would like to hear the line?
Longer pit stop for himself.
Smoke the
I wanna say
grass.
thank
Track
you to
temperature's
Morecast
decreasing.
for being
It's
our
now
stage
95.
sponsor.
67.
So do you.
Sponsored.
Speeding.
Head on over to Morecast on Instagram for a variety of NASCAR content, including diecast memes.
What'd you say?
iRacing. Also,
67,
Morecast on
50 and you were
YouTube.
67, 70.
Discussions
Yeah.
and more as we
I'm just good about that.
Wow.
46-63.
John Forbes get his thoughts on tonight's race.
Yikes.
It's been an incredible one so far. And let's see if we can cue
Yeah, I
up.
don't know. I'll figure something out. What
It's,
the hell, dude?
Sam and Zach up in the booth. You got us?
Gotta get the.
I got you.
Gotta get my back tire
Well,
around. I don't
stage
know.
winner
Like
in a pretty
if
dominant
I felt like
fashion. Man,
in
how
1
are
and
you
2, if
feeling
I
out
got onto
there
the
after
brake
that performance in the
Okay,
first
fast
round?
enough,
get ready.
Yeah,
early
it's
enough,
good.
it would
We
kind of
have to
rotate
line
the
up.
truck, and then I
I
could
really
just drive
want
it around
this
the
thing to
top.
stay green. It's gonna
But
be a fun one if
like
that can
sometimes
happen.
you just miss it. It
The
just
worst
want to
thing
go
I
straight
want
to
is to
the
see a
wall.
bunch of strategy go down there.
Yeah.
It's kind of weird.
Definitely feel you on that, John. Excellent first run there for you, man. You know, how do you feel
Go
like you
back
were
on
able
the
to
brake
manage it
bias.
so well by,
Man,
you know,
that's not
just
gonna do
getting to lead
much.
there and never giving it up. It seemed like a lot of people around you struggled as they dropped back.
Yeah, I think everyone was just saving a ton at the start. So I was like, all right, take advantage, get some clean air, and drove right up to the front. Kinda
Hey
messed
guys,
up my
remember when I
qualifying
like
lap, so getting to the
started
front was
like in
kind of
like
a good way to make up for
17th or
that,
something, and then I
we're gonna try to keep it
drug
up
the
here.
wall at the beginning?
Well, John, it looks like we're going to be taking off this go around. Any final thoughts before we let you go?
No, just want to see this thing go green.
Congratulations, John, on being our stage winner, and good luck for the rest of the race.
Thank you guys.
As we let John Forbes go back to his Snowy Desert Racing team. Zach, stage is over. It's now the real race begins, we could say, from here on out. Any final thoughts before we go green?
Well, Sam, I tell you, it's right on the edge of the fuel window. So let's see how this shakes out. They should be able to make it from one stop here. If this goes green, this race is going to be wild.
If you talk about strategy,
Green flag.
all the Final Four contenders talk about watch out for 74 Nick Crawford. But if there's cautions, it sets up just
Car
a dash
high.
and a fight. John Forbes can be the contender.
B22,
Here we go.
guy in front
It's your
is
ISRC
Morales,
finale.
91, and their
150
rating
here
is
tonight.
2.7.
We're back
They're
to
up
green
high.
flag racing action as the 11 John Forbes ducks it down low. Cedric Hunter's going to be following.
Cedric's around.
Full course caution, be
Stuck
careful.
high. Oh, Cedric Hunter though breaks loose. They have to dodge around the 7.
Pace car is
Well,
out.
Cedric's gonna win this race now.
Pace car's out. Line up single file.
Yeah,
Cedric is such a thing. I do
appreciate
Oh, man. You know, I don't want to say a classic.
I appreciate it, Justin.
You
you
know,
could
as him
have
being
checked
my
up
teammate,
or,
we know he's
you know, instead of just running the back of me.
sometimes on cold tires, just trying to get a little bit too much and get surprised by that truck.
I don't know why that was a 4 I saw it,
the
but I
moment in
just
the middle of
give
the
you
corner.
tips on that
Well, there's the first caution for incident.
Maybe got some more help from the 9 as we'll go back here.
I was just about to say thank you for not killing me. I thought sure you were gonna kill me there.
The 7. You gotta give kudos.
To be fair, I said in the team strategy, I don't know if they're left me or not, but I'm not lifting.
Luckily had enough space.
Well, of course, yellow. It's alright.
I lifted a little bit.
Runs into the 7 machine, spins him out.
Because you heard
That's
me
what throws
complaining
out
about the
yellow,
time
and
of day
luckily
for
everyone else
races,
able to avoid. Quick little pirouette.
I don't need to get turned
and
almost
that will bring out our first on-track incident of the night. And looking back on the 7, I mean, Zach, what a save initially, but
I mean,
the rest of the field's at full board. There's not much they can do here.
Yeah, not much they can do. I think the 9 there, I mean, he can't really lift. He's in a position where if he lifts, he loses a ton of what the track position that he would already gain back up. And I think if you're Campbell, it's somewhat understandable to get in the back of the 7 there. So, you know, tough break for Cedric Hunter, but again, he's not running for a championship. The 9 is.
And with us going with a quick restart there and only
We're under
go
caution.
about
It's closed.
2 corners, now the tires become a bigger question of note. They are going to be cooling off even more on this run. And that we saw the initial start of this race was really clean. But this go around, that question, Zach, of fuel window being right on the limit of this race becoming a 1 stop. I think this helps it be a little bit more manageable to work with.
No doubt. This is now, in my opinion, it's very easily a 1 stop. We're looking at about 54, 55 laps.
Just about to hit the 100 lap mark on the season.
It again was right in that edge of the zone, but I think we'll be completely fine now with this. And this is now going to come down to when do you pit, when, you know, strategy of, you know, how hard do you push here? Because we heard John Forbes, he said, man, he was surprised by how much saving was going on from a few of these guys, and he just took advantage of that to get to the clean air. We'll see, does Vincent sort of play a different game of, I can't fall back as far, I need to stay on that 11 and keep the pressure on him? Because I think that's one thing that's very critical is if you're able to run your clean lap around this track,
get ready, race and resume at the end of this lap.
You know, consistent times. It's when someone puts that pressure on you, when you start to maybe overwork the tire, over push a little bit, that we see those problems come out. We'll see if the 15 maybe does that this time, or maybe his teammate Nick Crawford says, I got to get to the clean air. It really,
you get the feel on the pickup down there, Danny?
That's what I need.
We do want to say
something
thank
like
you
that.
So much to everyone that's watching with us. So far, 9 people
that's
voted
just the line. You got the wet tires on.
Win tonight's championship. 44% give the win and the championship to John Forbes. You have a tie for
rain
second
line
between Vincent Sora and Nick Crawford at 22%.
All right,
and
another
Justin
restart
Campbell
upcoming
with
here.
The 1 vote at 11% for himself. Question is, if you're able to,
do a little
we'd
bit
love
better
to see
this
your
time,
voting.
hopefully.
Who do you think is going to win the championship? Go down into the poll in the chat to throw down your vote. As up front, John Forbes, Vincent Sora, Nick Crawford going to continue to be your front
Cedric's
three.
going to be charging through the field.
Now with seeing Justin Campbell instead of our top 10 and just outside of the top 5, this 9 wanting to be a threat to watch out for, but this restart could be critical. Who's going to fight for the clean air, or who's willing to stay in line to save the fuel? Big question.
Green flag, we're racing.
Mace Car makes the hard left-hander to pit road. We're getting ready for some more green flag racing for the championship race for
D20.
Season 6. Your
Still there.
ISRC finale.
Inside's cleared.
150 is back underway.
Great start from Forbes, but it's going to be Nick Crawford who's trying to get the side draft on the 15 to Vincent Sora, and he's going to get there on the quarter panel. It's going to be the question, though, what does the 15 do this time? Looks like he's going to pinch the 74 down and try to hold on the second and maybe even go for the lead down the back straightaway.
Massive run, going to be for Vincent Sora. He'll duck down low, trying to get to that inside quarter panel of the 11. He'll do so. They'll stay side by side for a quick moment, but Forbes digging a little bit deeper. He puts the throttle down through the center of the corner, and he will not give up the lead position. Forbes keeps the nose ahead. Sora might have to use a little bit more tires if he wants to take that lead.
That he will. It looks like he was trying to do it, then kind of backed out of the situation going into 3, maybe to try to bait him into a situation where we'll see how it works out this time. Talmadge, the driver up top there, trying to fight back into it. Andy Cochran. We'll see again what are the aggression levels going to be this time, because people learn You know, I got to come forward. If I save my tires before, you can also burn your tires up by running fast. So let's see what the aggression level is. The 9 of Campbell there trying to get to the inside of the
Fastest lap for Reed in 33, 6.2. Got a car on your inside. That lap was at 34.05.
Still there. 4 positions in one moment, but Justin Campbell stuck in the Hornets nest. It is pandemonium back here in the middle of the field because you're trying to find an opening just to launch your way forward, but they're checking up in front of you. You got a wave of drivers behind. There's not very many options, and some drivers almost thinking about maybe enforcing it 3 to 4 wide if they have a chance.
Okay, Dakota, the next car is Cassidy, 70, B license. Hold that line.
Up on the 2, everybody looking stacked on the bottom on the outside.
This is exactly what we need.
We'll see if maybe Campbell elects to go to the top side. Will he utilize that?
Still there,
like we see
clear
in the
inside.
25 and the 24 do early in this race, but it is a kind of risk for sure. We see
Norris!
Oh no!
Still there.
One driver that we know is just out here to have fun, and that's
Still there.
Reed, ripping the top and not giving a care. But
Still
one driver
there.
might care, ducking down onto the apron for a quick look. It's Christopher Norris, who had a big scare for himself.
I listened for you, but it's
underneath,
too late.
not going into the wall.
Hold your line. Clear inside.
It's okay, it was my fault.
Just instead of top 15, but
I just wanted to get down to the apron a little bit.
looking like a Christmas tree with the way they're driving, and it's Cody Reed ripping the top, gets by Campbell, and continues to move forward. Huge block by Ollie Fonseca, though, doesn't want to give that space to the 25.
Big moment there for sure. If that would have been a wreck, Justin Campbell's right behind it, and that would have been a major one for sure. Is Reed again ripping that top side. I mean, he, like you said, I think he's here just to have fun, and he knows what he's doing. He's going to hurt those tires, but he's not willing to back down.
Hey, at least
Still there.
Show for those first 10 laps of a run.
Still there.
Go green, but again, it's going to be thrown
Hold your
down.
line.
Cody Reed, those tires will fade away.
Hold your line.
In the next 2 to 3 laps, and really went
We are
away
clear up high.
the
Car
outside
inside.
wall. I think that's going to be the sign of when Cody Reed's tires
Still there.
really disappeared and gone as he's
Still
now
there.
sliding his way up inside of the top 6. Ollie
Still
Fonseca
there.
as well, working the outside groove. They are working
Hold
as
your line.
one, pushing their way forward. It's the 24 and the 25.
Hold your line.
That they are definitely working as well. We saw them do it
Still
before.
there.
It really utilized it well, and right now
Still
working
there.
good.
B20,
He's going to cut a
your
little
last lap
point
time
there
was
for
at
his teammate Nick Crawford down the
34.25.
front. Give him a little push here.
Car inside.
To the corner, but you're Cody Reed, you're trying to get
Hold your line.
back up there to the mix, and if you never know if he runs up your
Still there. You're clear on the low side.
caution at some point. He's going to gain a ton of track position, so it's one of those things that yes, he might be hurting himself for the long run, but you never know when a caution is right around the next corner. You could time this perfectly.
Well, figure it. Right on top of each other the first few laps of the run.
Garcia, the 50 going to push the 9 to the outside groove, and I think for Justin Cable, he has to push these tires at least a lap or 2. Get by the 10 of Jared Talmadge, who's kind of just being the front driver, bringing this chain that is really protecting their tires for a long run stint. And this 9 just has to take each position possible, slots his way in front. Green, I'm nervous for
hello.
He's losing a lot of time by willing to just stay stable where he's at right now.
Clear outside.
Completely agree with you, Sam. He's going to have to
buy me a
kind of
drink
get out of his
first?
comfort zone and
On the high side.
that truck just a little bit.
Damn it, dude.
Hold your line.
You know, it will maybe backfire.
Still there. B21. Your lap time was 34.31.
So
Clear outside.
valuable
Good
sometimes.
consistency. Keep
You
it
gotta
coming.
go
There's a
for
car
it.
outside.
Like you said, the time
Still there.
losses were the big thing. He's already 2.5 seconds.
Still there.
This early in the run.
Still there.
Clear high. They have their own little duel that's starting to mount up here in the next 2 laps, I believe, is when we're going to be seeing those movements happen between the 11 and 15 for the lead, but other drivers still seeing the back of this line and this train of drivers. It's getting a little bit clustered up. Drivers are not
You've just done 34.47.
Just stay in line. They see an opening, they're willing to take it, and as the 9 is he's further up enough that he can take a little bit of a breather, but the injuries are always going to be scary to work with. But a driver that I think is in a scary spot, Nick Crawford, with his teammate of Cody Reed, kind of just having a for fun race with Ollie Fonseca. They're going back and forth, pushing these tires as aggressively as they can. Crawford is stuck in their tracks, and with every passing moment, you know those tires are going to fall away, and if they snap loose randomly, the 74 can get caught up in that mess.
Yeah, exactly right. And when you have to run too wide off the exit of the corner sometimes, like Crawford's had to do his he's almost going to make contact with the 24 there. Is the 24, I think, back the corner up, and Crawford dives to the inside. That was a
Martin!
Great save, and
Run
a
on him.
major mishap for those two right there. Crawford, outside. He's seen those two up front kind of drive away. If he runs here side by side with this group who's ripping this top, that's only going to hurt his tires too, where he has to really take the exit. So if you're Crawford, you want to get clear of these outside line runners.
Oh my God, outside.
Still there.
It's too strong.
Clear high. Up time was 54.50. Car outside.
Away from me.
Still there.
Once again, Ollie Fonseca trying to defend
Hold your line.
that bottom line. Just
Clear outside.
It's being stuck side by side. It kind of forced the issue to force Nick Crawford to back off that corner a lot more.
This is definitely some wild racing there, and if you're Nick Crawford, it can get a little frustrating. You know what you're racing for, and the other guys are out racing the race. And again, that's what we talked about at the beginning of the race. It's different than any other championship or any sport out there. You come to this championship race, you're not only racing the people you're competing against for the championship, you're also racing every other single driver that's out here, and it can make it tough. And sometimes frustrating where you feel like, man, just let me go. I'm battling for that championship. But if you're Fonseca, he's racing himself for that 24, and he's going to be trying his hardest to win this race. But there you see Crawford got the job done. He's going to be, I think, a little bit more happy now that he's got some air on his nose.
Outside. 50, half of it being happy that he's gotten the best line, half frustrated that he had to use up so much tires.
Hold your line. High side's clear. Okay, Dakota. That's good consistency. Keep it up.
Our top two, John Force and Sora, which means it means that Nick Crawford's using up his tires a little bit more to try to make that pass. Maybe the mindset of trying to save his fuel, save his tires, it's thrown away as we are closing in every so often to our halfway point of tonight's race. It's been a good one so far, but John Force, Vincent Sora is now within 2/10 to our leader. And
sorry about that, I tried to use my leg at the worst time.
Trouble further on back. It's Mark Morales, Centric Hunter.
I got in front of him and they fucking Martin got in the wall, I think.
So glad that when somebody hits the wall, we just have to run over them. Thank you, Justin.
Still a half a track away.
Oh man, that's Cedric Hunter's night gone down the drain after one incident. I mean, he was looking strong at the end of that stage with his long run pace. But right here, we're going to get to see
I was out for like 5 laps, and I looked up, and he wasn't there anymore.
Yeah.
I think it's going to be Malarkey getting in the back of Mark Morales, turning him down into Cedric Hunter.
Just a bizarre moment that throws away both of their races, and expected to be entering pit road to get service done is Mark Morales and Vince and Cedric Hunter, as we are back to live coverage. Both have swapped positions but are hurting on tires. Back to the battle for the lead though. Batting pretty close to where we were at before that incident.
Struggling here, struggling.
A lap and a half ago. Zach, it is Vincent Sora. He has caught John Forbes, and this has been the worry, I think, all week. John Forbes knew he was going to be strong, but how much of this race was going to take for Vincent Sora to kind of get this race under his footing to be a threat for the lead?
I tell you, I've raced Vincent Sora a lot myself, Sam. The thing I always take away from the 15 that he is so good at adapting. He can start a race and you're like, man, I got him. He's in, he's in my back pocket, so to say. And then he just figures it out. The kid is a natural, and he is definitely, I think, picking things up from John Forbes that maybe John is not going to be liking here too soon. But I think at the end of the day, this is kind of what we thought was going to be coming into it after we've seen the runs they had at Texas with this new package. These two just look to be a step above everybody.
They really do, as they continue to fight back and forth. Just
that was at 34.80.
And an update on Justin Campbell, our fourth of our final four. Still stuck outside the top 10. He has fallen to 11. He restarted 7, but he just continues to fall backwards, and now able to stay ahead of the group. For Campbell, I'm worried, as he is able to finally get some spacing, but because of all the hard jabbing on the brakes, slowing down so much and giving up all this time, all those drivers behind this 9 machine, now we're just taking a spot like it's easy every single lap they go on by.
They are, man. This is tough to see for Justin Campbell. I mean, some races you come into, man, it's just nothing works out for you.
Lap time's pretty consistent.
Everything, and it just snowballs from there. And even sometimes, especially with what is on the
I don't know, dude.
Pressure that is in these races, it can snowball in your head. And quickly you can get down on yourself and make things that much worse. And I'm hoping that's not the case for him here, Maybe he'll get some things solved out here a little bit later, but it does seem like that 9 struggling right now as he's dropping back into the clutches with the 01, the 38, along with the 50.
Trying to settle in for their different battles. I also asked the championship drivers, what was a race that they felt like changed the season to make them think they've got a chance for the championship? It felt like every round,
still there.
The last 2 rounds for Justin Campbell.
Outside clear.
I survived. I made it through. I still have a chance to fight for a championship. But for the other 3 contenders that run their top 3, they picked selective races that they felt like it was a change of momentum for Vincent Sora and for Nick Crawford. They both chose Auto Club. Auto Club for Nick Crawford because it was a race
last lap time was 35.22.
Glory of the 15 gonna dominate this season with his return. It felt like there was still a chance for the 74 to get into a championship run. He chose the second race of the season to prove that. And then for Vincent Sora, he felt like race number 2 was a race that proved to himself that, okay, everyone else has evolved as a race car driver in this series since I've been away, but I still have it. I'm still a threat, and I can still race with these guys.
Okay, Dakota, there's a car exiting the pits, heads up.
I don't know, man. It's just so competitive in this league, dude.
The race compared to someone that did win back here at race number 2 this season.
I love hearing that. That is one thing I like to hear, and that is just driver mentality 101. It's sort of going to take a little bit to the outside, maybe trying to set up a run off or 2, but I love hearing that 2 different drivers with 2 different complete finishing positions come out of that race with different perspectives. He's going to look to the inside here, saying we got a battle on our hands now.
It's now about 0.80.
First time we've seen John Forbes under threat of someone potentially trying to march.
I just don't know.
70 laps into this race.
Oh, yep, I suck.
Vincent Sora didn't get the lead for very long.
I just don't know. I don't get it.
Number 1, give it to the 11. We'll see how many more rounds we have to deal with as we're closing in on halfway of tonight's race.
Yeah, I don't know. I think it's just too tight on entry to run the wall, but I don't think the leaders are just running the bottom.
John Forbes, on the other hand, his real changing moment of the season that proved that
I mean, it's literally like whoever saves more is just good, but who knows how much to save.
And that really did not want.
Because you just give up so much if you try to save a lot too.
That lap was a 35.37.
That had been on every previous championship winner besides Vincent Sora and now John Forbes. If you won the championship,
Cody's making his fullback.
You fell off. You never got a win until maybe 2 or 3 seasons past your championship. And John Forbes trying to become the first driver to become a back-to-back champion as well. It's because he broke the curse. He believes he can do this.
Yeah, I tell you, that would that would be great to see for him. You know, back to back is not only would it be a second championship, like you were saying, but back to back, I think he puts that much more of a statement. And,
okay, Dakota.
you know, John has been
pretty
here
consistent
since the very beginning of everything.
Yeah, consistently slow. Got it. Thanks.
You know, he was a race winner in the first season, but it was. I feel like he went about it different ways. You know, now it's almost just outright speed dominance.
It's been a struggle tonight, that's for sure.
And that is just so impressive to see the growth of a driver throughout his majority of the season. Then we had, of course, the season 1 winner, Vince Sora, come back to challenge him. It's been a heck of a season, and whoever does get it done is going to be amazing. But having some amazing battles here looks like Fonseca's starting to fall back into the clutches here.
Well, that's an interesting way to enter pit road.
We also had the falling back of Cody Reed. He's falling back to 11th place, and we're having our first green flag pit stop happening right now. Going to be Ryan Ferraro. It looks like this is going to be potentially a scheduled stop with the way his tires are looking. Might be a 2-stop strategy for the 34. A couple of other drivers talking about how this race was most likely going to be a 1-stop after the stage. There's a lot of strategy calls, Zach, of, you know, we had the caution kind of changed up that mindset for drivers, but I feel like they're still in that window of the 2 different strategies are wide open.
I do too think that, Sam. I think the strategies are kind of wide open right now. We'll see what plays out. I think a lot of the field is going to get to around that lap 95 marker, and from there, I think the window is really going to open up for the 1-stop.
Oh man.
And we'll see what they do, but you know,
yeah, it's been a real rough season for sure.
Maybe stretching to about 100. We'll see. Maybe people try to elect to do that to try to get a little bit more fresher tire advantage over everybody. It's going to be one of those questions because we even seen it at Texas. John Forbes did an excellent job of staying out a little bit longer, and those new tires came back to help him.
We're halfway through. Should be about 21 laps of fuel.
Oh, yards, I see.
Last lap was at 35.5.
He's trying to get a little aggressive on entry there.
Like,
I don't know, I'll get like 3 or 4 laps in a row where I run the top and I feel like I run these guys down in front of me and then I just mess it up.
A little bit more for others as we are officially at the halfway of tonight's race. I want to say thank you to everyone that's joining with us. We're going to take our first commercial break.
Look, you got front review for it,
I swear I'm getting on the brakes like at the same time though. It's just sometimes it rotates, sometimes it doesn't.
Yeah, I can't get this shit to rotate at all.
20th place. Just done a 35.37.
Screen is Justin Campbell. There is still plenty of racing that can shake up this championship picture. So we will be back right after this with more ISRC truck racing action. You won't miss a thing as we go side by side for the ISRC finale 150. We'll be back right after this.
That was at 35.34. That's good consistency. Keep it up.
So 20 laps till we have to pit.
Time was 35.37.
Yay, reeling our teammate in. At least we're catching somebody. Oh man, it's been a struggle.
The lap time was at 35.36.
Dead here.
Don't worry, I'll stay high.
The gap behind is now 1.00.
What the hell's that, Cody? Oh shit. I was about to take the 17 out for a second.
I'm gonna stay low here on the front stretch.
Thanks, Martine.
Have fun.
That lap was at 35.62.
They're 5 wide behind her pit. Oh my, the 5 wide here. This ain't gonna work. They make it last. Bumping and banging to the end. They're beating banging for the lead. Sora still with the shot here. Coming off the board. That's it. It's bottom line. Here it comes. I know Carter gets run. It's gonna be that Nick Crawford. The 74 gets through. Somehow go, and they just completely demolish one another. Diving down low, drifting up, trying to be the stealer. He steals it.
But he somehow drove it into the corner to wreck it.
Oh, they wrecked! They wrecked each other! The top two bounced into one another! Just too much of side drifting off them, and they gotta be careful. Oh no! The 4 demolishes in the 28!
Damn. Jesse's making up time. Not a bad strat. I mean, he gets a caution after the cycle. Showing about 13 laps, 7 minutes to sit.
Monday night. My name is Sam Dyer. With me is Zach Ball. Running productions in the background is Robert Boyer Jr. Tonight's race is the Season 6 Championship race, the ISRC finale 115, and it has been all dominated by John Forbes. Your other Championship 4 drivers going to be John Forbes himself, Vincent Sora in second, Nick Crawford in third, and back in 10th place is the 9 machine of Justin Campbell. It has been
everyone's pretty spaced out, so I don't think we're going to get a caution, unfortunately.
Glimpses of maybe he has the speed, but it's been the 11 so far, so strong here this evening. If you're just joining us, there also is a poll down in the chat. If you'd like to choose, who do you think is going to win the championship here tonight? Will it be the 11 of John Forbes, Vincent Sora in the 15, the 9 of Justin
But he's going to have to pit again. I think he only pit once and he ran dry.
Campbell gets up pushed into the corner, getting some assistance from Thomas Green. Zach, it's been one of those races where you kind of can sense who's the favorite, but man, could a caution change everything?
Oh, a caution could change the whole complexion of this race for sure. I mean, you know, John Forbes is definitely, I think, the favorite right now after really starting to open up that gap. But if we get a caution, it throws anything in the possibility of happening. So we'll see how that shakes out. As you can see back here, 19, Dakota Muniz kind of running along his own race. He's 1.3 seconds ahead of Tyler Dingler, who is that driver battling for that Best of the Rest championship with Green up 10. So Dingler definitely going to need a little bit more, but that damage, I think, still hindering that 19.
It absolutely is. You got a major loose and then slam the inside pit wall 10 laps into this race. Another couple of drivers that are
car ahead is Reed, 25, and their rating is 9.3. The gap behind is now 1.37.
He's missed out on the majority of the season. Showed up for the last race of the season, was open for a decent run. Well, Cody Reed, on the other hand, has been Mr. Aggressive on the early showings, using up every little bit of his tires.
That last lap was at 35.80.
It is survival mode of can we keep this truck underneath ourselves as he's fallen now back to 18th position. And I think having a lot more spacing between all these drivers has helped Cody Reed stay stable for now, but obviously it's getting a little bit more nerve-wracking each lap that passes, but we are getting close to the pit stop, Zach, where there are a couple of strategy calls these drivers can go for.
That they can, you know, we'll see when they elect to come down. Right now, most everybody's got about 47 to 46 laps on their tires right here, and like I said, pit window.
That was at 35.93.
So they can go about another 8 to 9 laps, possibly even 10 because we got those caution points. So I still think we can try to see someone maybe stretch it out to that 100, 101 mark. That'll be on the deep end of it. But I think a lot of pit stops will probably start to happen around 96, 97, because then they'll feel comfortable to be able to make it to the end.
I don't even think we're in our window yet. Yeah, because we just want to do a one stop.
With our polls, see who you think's going to win. We've actually got a tie now. But dominated, like the race has on John Forbes being the favorite.
That was at 35.76.
Tonight, John Forbes as well as Vincent Sora both top tied at 36%. 9% of people think that Justin Campbell could be a pick to win here this evening, and 18% picking Nick Crawford, as we're seeing some of the other drivers that are having some decent runs for themselves. A driver that actually won this race all the way back in season 2 when it was a championship race. GT Irizarry in the 14. I mean, Zach, GT, a driver that kind of has shocked us throughout the seasons of the ISRC. Some seasons he is dominant, and some
pretty consistent.
He's a middle of the pack driver. Here this season, we've seen top 10 runs, we've seen top 15 runs, and here tonight it looks like it's top 10 runs. Just hoping to salvage something here tonight.
That is, you know, GT's, this is kind of one of those tracks, in my opinion, that his style really shows out. You know, we've even seen in the past here, you know, he's competed for victory. So it's definitely, I think,
it's not very good at this track, man.
To be battling in this top 10 like he is, and just seems like the tracks that are more worn out, where the tires kind of fade away, that seems to be his strength as a driver. He's got that more conservative Dutch approach when it comes to, you know, really easing the tires in. I mean, he's battling with the driver right now. He's kind of took a different approach. You know, 24 Fonseca really been right up in the front mix right after starting the run. It starts to fade a little bit as the run goes. So this is going to show the tale of two different takes between these drivers.
Certainly.
Damn, really, John Ford is a 7K driver. Holy shit.
It looks like Mark Morales caught up in an incident that did not bring out a yellow between himself, Cedric Hunter, and also Justin Malarkey.
Bro, I just realized John Forbes is a 7K driver.
Currently, and Ryan Ferraro thought maybe he was a
I know, it's ridiculous.
Holy shit.
Was actually waving to the white flag. 34 has called it a night for himself. We're down to just 21 drivers on the lead.
I wonder how these guys are so good. It's like, oh man, 7K, yeah.
Battling a 4th position. You see it on screen. GT Rosario, Oliver Fonseca, 8th place. Give it to the 14 for now. Drivers that are a lap down. Jesse Thornock in the 20 machine is 1 lap down. Morales, like I just noted on, still in pit road. About to go 7 laps down for himself. And Zach,
maybe one day I'll figure out how to be that fast.
Fuel left. You've just done a 35.51.
One of those being the 3 machine of Anthony Gaudio. Driver that almost won this race all the way back in season 3, but after a late.
I can get one more lap in to make sure we're in the field one day here.
3 and Ethan Smith at the time got a little bit too high through 3 and 4, and off the turn 4 it was Cedric Hunter who stole that win.
Behind us now.
Anthony Gaudio showing pretty good strength like he's done in the past. Does into pit road. It's Nick Crawford.
Nick Crawford here, very aggressive, right at 95. So this is right on the edge of the window. Like I said, about 54 to 55 laps.
The 18, 2 laps of fuel remaining.
He's right on the edge of it. So he feels like it's going to be necessary to go ahead and get in. And I'm not surprised to see him pit
Burning up.
because he had
this lap.
5 seconds on his back from that lead. So it's kind of dire moments right now with how John Forbes' pace has just been really kind of out of this world. He's been 2/10 almost every single lap faster.
Also another driver joining with his team to Nick Crawford, going to be Cody Reed. Another driver into pit road. Vincent Sora hits his stop into pit road. Anthony Gaudio following it.
There's a car exit in the pits. Look out for the pit speed limit.
Some early takers, but majority of the field
just
deciding
I'm
to
pitting here.
stay out. And it's our front runners that are pitting early. This is completely.
I don't know how the fuck we didn't.
Only 2 laps of fuel left.
I don't know how the fuck we made it, to be honest with you.
A lot of this comes down to the guy we're watching right now as he's going to take an entry to pit road. It shows you how tricky it is. And since we took away that, access road to get to pit road, it gets very tricky here at Homestead when you come off that banking. And he carried a ton of speed. So right there, I think Forbes nailing that entry. And we'll see right now how big that gap will be.
We'll need to come into the
Oh my god.
I like that call. Don't risk anything. Comes down here.
It's got a black flag for speeding.
It's smart. Going to be
Rip.
pit road. No black flag caught as pit road speed is 50 miles per hour. These drivers went around 150
outside.
at their slowest to 140.
Got 3 laps to serve this penalty.
Clear outside.
So
The fastest lap for Crawford, 33.38.
On pit entry, pit exit, excuse me. Dakota O'Nees who has to do a drive through for the 5 after an
Watch your speed limit in the pits.
exit. Nick Crawford though, fastest.
Well, they didn't catch us going in, caught us going out.
14 spitting this time, 14 spitting.
5,
He
4,
jumped ahead of Vincent Sora.
3,
I went back
2,
and looked at it too.
1.
Vincent Sora slid through the box.
Sorry, Jared,
had
I
to
didn't
back
know
up.
you coming down right there.
That's why Vincent Sora is going to be easily
Only
back
field,
to
dummy.
Crawford now.
What are you doing?
And I tell you what, John Forbes, so much.
Well, that
comfort
fucking
from him.
sucks.
We see Crawford here. He's
Was it a
crossing
hold?
time?
Yep.
Going into turn 1, and he pits
I hate
2
that
laps
Yeah, I'm
ahead.
putting
I
this
know.
Excellent
40-second
job
old.
from
Forbes had the timing perfectly lined up for
We need to come in
himself,
for
and
this
it's going to
penalty in the
be
next
facing
2
the 11
laps.
in a prime opportunity to take this championship away. Not
Yep,
expecting
that's
to see any
pretty
more
much
stops
sums up our
from
season
here
right
on
there.
out for that 11, but a caution.
We're gonna
could
finish
change
multiple
this
laps
race
down
up as it
and
would bring everyone
22nd
back
place it looks
together,
like.
But we're seeing more drivers entering pit road, and it's Cedric Hunter, pit road slide.
Oh,
That's
man.
a little traditional for the 77. Every little mark of possibilities of mistakes, Zach, except for being the lead driver.
That's for sure. Yeah, it's definitely a little mistake. Is there goes Thomas Green, and the bigger mistake is he's going to spin it around and he's going to slap the right rear on the wall. That opens up the door here for the possibility of Tyler Dingler. Now, if you're Dingler, you got to take advantage of that.
The best of the rest is underway, and I think for Tyler Dangler, who just enters pit road, he now sees an opportunity in front of him, but was not able to be in that position. I'm curious on what the difference is going to be for the 18 and for the 19 machine, because it looks like Thomas Breen, he's still at a big enough lead that he'll keep that top position for the best of the rest. Here's other drivers though. Oh, Kanata, all in for the sake of the old tires versus new. As the 16 driver trying to get by the forward. Cody Reed, also a driver that's trying to mount some passes here.
22nd place.
Fresh rubber, we know what that means. It's go time for Cody Reed.
That it is. I'm surprised I haven't seen the purple lap time click off.
Dumb mistake after dumb mistake.
He's a little bit stuck up behind this group here.
The track temperature's decreasing. It's now 91 Fahrenheit.
We'll see how this all works out. And the one thing I will say is we talked about the best of the rest. I'm concerned about that 18. He took a hard hit.
66, 68.
On the right rear. I wonder if that could play any factor for him. Maybe open up the door for Dingler there, but here comes the 14. He's already checked to the outside, so the big moves being made all around this racing surface.
Fresher tires for GeForce.
Tell you what, I could use a caution right now. The third.
Between the 25 and Cody Reed and Irizarry. But I think for Cody Reed, he's in that I pitted earlier than everyone else stage that I have to protect my tires. Everyone's made their stop and should be able to take it to the end of this race. One driver, though, will have to pit one more time. And that's Jesse Thordock, who pitted 22 laps ago.
All I know is I am
two-stop
good to go for
strategy,
the rest of the
but
race.
it's John Forbes 3 seconds ahead of the driver.
Yeah, I don't know. For some reason, when I first was looking at it, I was like, I don't think anyone's going to make it to the 100 lap point, but I don't know.
And he
That was
went with
great
the early
mistaken.
pit stop, and I think that was the only strategy he had, Zach. But man, the what ifs if he decided to stay out could have been massive.
Gonna run it out, but we're gonna get a good result. Oh man.
Just done at 33.66.
Nick Crawford
Hi.
had 6 wins
So
this season.
stupid.
That's right. He has had some amazing calls this season. And, you know, he was kind of a little bit more in a box here. I mean,
Yeah, it was more fun driving through the field anyway. I was just putting that fun just back there struggling. So
at most in the stretch out distance, and you know he could have possibly seen a caution, which we haven't seen one, so it most likely wouldn't have played in his favor. But I kind of like the call to go ahead and get the pit stop done. I was looking at lap times; they kind of get into a range where you run a similar lap time over and over and over again if you're consistent. So good job out here. I think he's really right now focusing his sights on, if we do get a caution, I need to be that second place driver so I can put the pressure on my teammate and not allow him to soar. So it's being second is not the worst thing here if you're Crawford, but it's still a huge gap to close in with Forbes out there, fresher tires, and that gap. This feels very comforting if you're that 11 team.
Yeah, and for John Forbes, he's in a position where he can just go in cruise control, allow those drivers to catch up, but then allow the fresher tires for the final push of 30 to 25 laps. We hop on board with the 15, though, of Vincent Sora as he's trying to run down second place runner Nick Crawford and trying every little bit to close in this gap. It's now down to 7/10 speed difference between second and third, but then there's again that still whole 3 seconds difference between first and second. A lot of time.
34.00.
So ready for this race to be over with.
Chance for the championship, but do want to take another look at the weather as we ran over 100 laps here tonight, and you've seen the track get darker, you've seen it get brighter. The track temp has cooled off as well as the air temp, and that's going to continue on throughout the night of seeing the air temp cool off. The track temp cooling off, though, it's going to be a little bit of a more difficult call to be made, but 91 degrees Fahrenheit for the track temp, Zach. I mean, a little bit cooler, a little bit more grip. See if maybe that helps some of these drivers out.
That's possible. You know, this track does go through changes. The rubber you lay down also will have a little bit of an effect. Also, you know, I don't know if it's going to have that big of a swing for John Forbes. It's going to have his truck go away from him because I think he's just had it dialed in all night, so to say. But if we do get, you know, a yellow flag, something to bring everybody back together, this cooler track temp will make a little bit more of a aggressive, racy, more gripped up track. So you can very well see that Cody Reed line of ripping that wall be utilized for maybe some of these top 3. I mean, you gotta have
last lap time was at 34.12.
If I need it, it's there, and we'll see if anybody utilizes it. It's just that risk versus reward again of how long do you have to go for.
How aggressive are you willing to take? I also want to bring up our race report. If you are just joining us, welcome. We're here on Freaky Fast Broadcasting, giving you coverage of the ISRC Lara Productions Truck Series race, your championship race. We've had 2 cautions. We had our initial caution for the stage break at the end of lap 40, then a quick caution on the restart on lap 46 as Cedric Hunter being spun around off the nose of the 9 of Justin Campbell that brought out our second caution of the day. Only have had 3 lead changes. It's been John Forbes, Vincent Sora being the lead 2, and then during the pit cycle, seen some other drivers test their hand as the lead driver, but Zach, it's been all John Forbes. Vincent Sora has tried his best in every way to try to gain these positions and win, close in on the gap, but if we're going to see a yellow, it most likely will happen around 12th, 13th, and 14th. Those drivers have been clustered up, and it's Jared Tallmadge, Cody Reed, and Joshua Canada.
That lap time was 34.39.
And it's all SR, it's all Snowy Desert Racing. 1,
Car
2,
high.
Vincent Sora and Data Cochran.
Still there.
For CSR and Anthony Gaudio.
Hold your line. You are clear high.
Damn wrong where he came from.
That he is, and yeah, I think, like you said, if we are to have that yellow, it'll be around that 13th, 14th positions because, yeah, it's really, you know, Cody Reed, Joshua Canada, Jameer Thomas, these guys have been battling super hard, been racing, you know, side by side for a lot of these laps.
You've just done a 34.50.
We've seen it here. I had started plenty of times before where late in the race, someone makes that small, simple mistake, and then the driver can't react, and next thing you know it, that yellow flag's out. So this race is far from over. We'll just have to see how it all pans out.
Well, here's some of your thoughts on this, Zach, of that laps adjustment with being over 100 laps in this race, the lack of cautions. Everyone's going to get into a rhythm. Some drivers, they kind of fall away and losing their focus at times. Maybe you came into this race with the mentality of being really junky and fun and haha, like you've seen all of the Cody Reed video, just it's take off and go. Looks like they're now trying to focus on saving their tires, but how does that affect the driver late?
Wish I was racing these guys for position.
You're trying to focus a little bit more, but you've already gotten in too much of a rhythm of just going full bore.
It can throw you off a big time.
Oh, leader, 6 seconds behind us.
Long green flag runs.
Probably catch us by the end of the race, to be honest with you.
In their brain almost. You know, you feel like you're locked in. You feel like you're hitting the marks. Then next thing you know it, you kind of get almost brain fog. And you kind of get it's almost even a factor of getting a little bit mentally tired, in my opinion. You're looking at a screen, doing these things for so long that sometimes it can get a little mentally fatiguing, and you just had that one little slip up, and especially just changing a driver style, you know, your driver style, it can really throw you off. So we'll just see if anybody has that issue. But everybody's done a good job so far here tonight. As you can see, the battle here is Cassidy looks to be going past the 25 Reed. Here comes the 01 Aaron Carlick also.
I want to give a huge shout out to Carlick, who's now going to be trying to make a pass on Cody Reed. Got to talk to him as a top 3 finisher last week at Iowa, and it was great getting to talk with the 01. It's been a long time since we've seen Carlick have a good run inside of our top 5, and able to come away with that finish at Iowa. Now trying to go for a top 15 run here at the 1.5 miles. He's got Mason Cassidy, who we haven't seen for a while. Cassidy on some of the freshest tires, really putting the pressure on some of the crew around him as he gets around that back bumper of the 16. And Cassidy, he wants to stay low. That outside row is not where he wants to be.
That he is, man. That was all over the back bumper of the 16. Canada now going to dive to the left here and look to the inside, but Canada going on a much more arcing line, cut across and kind of take that air away from the 17. But the 17, like you said, has those a little bit fresher tires than Canada, so he's trying to utilize that to his ability, and even Eric Kralik a little bit fresher than both of them. So we'll see if the 01 can maybe take advantage of the 17 here being held up a little bit by the 16. And you can see they're ripping that top side with the momentum. He's going to have a run to the inside down in turn 1.
Verity, place yourself on this run each lap, ticking away, and us getting closer and closer to crowning a champion here tonight. Mason Cassidy, Eric Kralik going to be right on top of one another off the exit of the corner, almost giving contact. This is racing for 13th position. Kralik going to give plenty of space and able to make the pass on Mason Cassidy down into turn number 3.
35 to go. Well, we're 2 to go. Yeah, we're 2 laps to go. 35 to go.
He's been defending well, but Vincent Sora, we knew at some point was going to catch up.
Hopefully this week of racing on week 3 will be a little bit better to us. Not very many good races last week. I mean, we had a couple good races, but
that they are trying to close in. And right here, I think Nick Crawford not going to play the nicest. He opened the door, then closes that door to make sure that 15 doesn't have the air on his nose. Right here off the exit, the 15 with a little bit better run might be able to get to the quarter panel. That's the key. If you can just get to that quarter panel, you'll suck them back, and boom, just like that, into the
may not catch
side
us
by
before the end of the race.
into one, and Vincent Sora going to try to clear the 74, but Nick Crawford not going to roll over. He knows if caution comes out, he wants to be ahead of Vincent Sora. There's no reason not to fight for this position.
You want that better positioning just in case. This is a battle of the what if a caution comes out, as Vincent Sora trying to make the pass, still yet to complete it, as finally will do so off the exit of turn 4. And Vincent Sora, Nick Crawford, it's clear for now, but they stay single file down into turn number 1. And Crawford trying to give a little bit of a bump. Too much speed for the 15, but they hold steady, hit the white line. And Sora putting all that dirty air on the front bumper of Crawford, and Crawford drifting up slightly.
Starting to get Jesse a top 15.
That they are. They'll have the lap truck here as Cedric Hunter, who's a little bit behind him. He's going to have fresher tires than these two, and you know, Cedric Hunter, a teammate of Vincent Sora, I don't think he's going to want to get too much in the mix here to change anything up, but man, oh man, I'll tell you, it is definitely tough to deal with that dirty air. You see Crawford already starting to struggle with this. You've seen it 1 and 2, washed up 3 and 4, a little bit of the rearing, stepping out the nose. It was definitely an issue you can see already. Is that, like they said with this update, it's gotten a little bit stronger.
I mean, I would like to say that maybe they'll play nice between the teammates of Cedric Hunter and Vincent Sora, but I mean, we've seen that team with also Danny Cochran. They haven't been the nicest towards one another. We know that they aren't going to wreck each other. Most of the time they won't. There's been moments throughout the season where they have accidentally done that, and it's always been Vincent Sora on the short end of the stick involving those incidents. As Nick Crawford still not being
To be 22nd for us, obviously. Not really. Go ahead, take the rest of the game. Oh, Jesse's a lap down.
I could make the pass here, but I could also just
I appreciate it. I was going to wait for him to walk away and get a little bit more for me to try and make a pass. I didn't want to affect you guys running for the championship.
Just to settle in and watch these drivers drive away from it.
You're good. I can't figure it out.
This is tough to see. I mean,
brother, tell me about it.
You talked about Vincent Sora and Cedric Hunter. They might not play nice. We've seen that before.
First loser has a nice ring to it tonight.
That will be not the case here tonight, but the 14 years are here.
My only word of advice from following you, Nick, is don't track it so much on exit. Try and keep the best as much as you can.
He's got much lower tires and then kind of dropping back from his group. But man, Talmadge,
the lap time was at
54.94. Pretty much when it came to that, that qualifying time, but just hasn't had that race pace that he wants. He's going to clear up in front of the 14, and that was almost a wreck between those two.
Influence gets close to the wall, able to keep it off the wall. They will go back to side-by-side racing, and we'll see a slide job move made by Irizarry. Irizarry backing out of the corner. They'll try to reset off the exit as they will stay side-by-side and fully clear now. Irizarry tries to snap behind, get that draft into the corner, and just not able to stay close enough. But those daring moves certainly can give you a little bit of a close one at times. We're closing into 25 laps to go, and with the lead being 5 seconds ahead, John Forbes still
holy shit, dude, I'm fucking sucking.
Just wanting this race to stay green, and you talked about that's kind of the winning conditions for the 11 to take this championship. Was if this race stayed green,
Morales behind is
speed was going to be the winning move for the 11 with how fast he's been. But if we get any cautions, change up the strategies, that's where John Forbes feels like he's got to cheat a little bit in this armor.
That's very possible, Sam. This season, he's had some great performances. Texas, I looked back to recently, Legacy Texas, most importantly. He was so good, but I don't think there's been a better performance from him than tonight. This has been so dominant. I sit here and I watch, as a driver myself, I sit here and watch lap times click by and by. And he has just been picture perfect. His consistency, his short run speed, his mid run speed, his long run speed, and even his pit road entry speed. I mean, it's all come together. But like you said, the one maybe chink in that armor might be a strategy call if it comes down to some late race move. He's hoping, like you said, he talked to us, green flag racing. It's been that way, but at any moment, that flag is in Barney's hand, ready to go.
That is.
Damn, dude. Yeah, I've never really been good at Homestead.
Under fire from Danny Cochran. The pass that sends the 74 back even more. as these two have had history in a championship race a time or two. Think back to season 3, Danny Cochran ultimately won that championship, but accidentally spun out and took out Nick Crawford during that race. And then the next season, Nick Crawford taking the championship for season 4. And here tonight, I think for Nick Crawford, what a season again. The expectations of winning this championship weren't there for the 74. He knew it was going to come down to strategy, but you got to give kudos to Nick Crawford for making it this far with seeing the competition that was knocked out in the round of 12, then the round of 8. Nick Crawford, certainly he's happy that he's part of the championship group that made it to the Final Four.
No doubt. I think, Crawford, like you said to you in his talk to you, he was never expected to be a champion. He's more of a guy who thinks,
okay, Dakota, lap times are pretty consistent.
At the end of the day, I think...
Damn, John Forbes is checked out from Vincent.
We know how good he is at strategy, but sometimes
5 seconds, damn.
Best. And tonight, if maybe not, went his way, we saw he won his championship at Charlotte. Maybe Homestead's not the greatest track for it. When it comes down to these one-race formats, you got to have a track that you like, first off, and have a place that you feel comfortable. Maybe that just hasn't been the case, but tonight, he's definitely put everything into it, and he's ran top 4, top 5 for all of them.
Gotta give a huge kudos to himself. Also, running in 6th place, has recovered after falling almost outside of the top 10. It's Justin Campbell. Want to say congratulations to the rookie. I mean, ran part-time, a little bit of the races at the end of season 5, was testing the waters if he wanted to run full-time. Decides to do so. Had some great finishes early in the season. I think back to Auto Club and Daytona, finishing in the top 3 for both of those races. Second at Auto Club.
Messed you up there.
But able to make it to the Final Four was an accomplishment of
You've just trying to mess those guys up.
Oh, you should have.
Well, I was trying to get on the outside of the 16, but then when they got side by side down the straightaway, I didn't want to mess them up.
So happy to even be in this spot as a rookie.
Oh, he's got to be. I mean, he's had.
Yeah, originally when I passed you, I was gonna try to jump on the outside of the 16 also.
I was so surprised and impressed by his run there. We hadn't seen him run amazing at road courses, but it shows.
Holy shit!
You put the talent in, and it shows you. That's why he's.
I almost killed Norris.
In real life, he's has the ability. He's definitely
a great
race car driver.
Oh man, and my bike's not working either, so I couldn't apologize.
Unfortunately, it seems like it stays green, but at the end of the day, he's done an excellent job there in this race to really work his way forward and show why he's a top contender.
Oh, I'm ready for this night to be over with.
A little moment to Vincent Sora in 2nd place.
Yeah,
shout out to our Final Four. I know we've been talking about them all night.
The only reason it's been fun is that I've just done an opposite strategy.
Yeah, I thought about doing that too.
So, I mean, it would have worked really good if it would have just cautions would have felt the right time, because at one point I cycled through to 2nd.
21st, lap was up 35.37.
But it's fun driving back through the field.
This 15 was going to be a threat from the start, and to make it this far, impressive enough. And the fact that he is right in 2nd place, just a position behind, trying to become a 2-time champion. Impressive by Vincent Sora, who again, with this poll today, ties the most polls.
Shit, he's 2 seconds minus. Yeah, we might go another lap down here for the end of this thing.
He had 5 wins, which is 2nd in wins. He had 10 top 5s entering tonight, which was 2nd overall in top 5s of this season of all drivers. And then 12 top 10s, 2nd overall in that stat as well. It's going to be a heartbreak, but it looks like the number 2 was calling for Vincent Sora this season.
It does like it was calling. I just think maybe just, ran out of a little bit of gas this season. Just maybe not even the right track for him. I feel like he performs well at every single track, and he's performed well tonight. I cannot take nothing away from him. But it's just lacked that little bit to John Forbes. And I think it'll leave his head scratching when he comes out of here tonight saying, what could I have done better? But I don't think you can add enough superlatives to this kid's name. He's such a great race car driver. And for him to have that hiatus and come back and immediately be right back in the mix and put his name in there as maybe possibly the favorite coming in there, that just shows you his talent level. And don't put it past him next season when he's going to come back very much energized to come win this championship if he can't get it done here tonight.
Yeah, I I think if anything, this also might energize him in other leagues that he runs. I know we cover on Wednesday night the WSSR Cup Series. Vinny's already a two-time winner in that series, and this second place finish here tonight could energize him to want to become a champion even on Wednesdays. But an incredible run so far for Vincent Sora, who has the lap-down driver of Cedric Connor, who was at his woes here tonight ever since the stage went 7, trying to close in the gap as much as possible. Drivers still trying to hold on for dear life. Ollie Fonseca trying to hold 8th place over Jared Talmadge. And Talmadge has been steadily taking every position he can and just watching his competition fall away. Also in front of him, Malik Coates has moved up to 7th place at 98. He's in cruise control. He's flying right now.
It really is. I tell you what, these guys are finding speed late in the race and gaining spots here in a quick
21st
for sure. And it's good to see. And we talk about it. This new update, learning things is always going to close the door on the 24, and that's going to get real spicy there. Well, we could have had our first yellow or
let's clear by here.
Now go ahead and here's side by side, Sam. This battle is
a little closer to me.
No, it is not. I think we're right there, Jared Talmadge. I mean,
he's flying, bro.
We've seen him make that move on somebody, and it backfires immediately. Just lack of grip off the exit of the corner after it clears somebody, and now going to be some fresh rubber of Jesse Thornock trying to figure out where to place the 20 machine as Jesse enters late. We were supposed to only have 23 drivers race, but Jesse gets into the server with about a minute left in grid time, grids up, and now the 20 machine going to go for 20th position and take a couple of more
wreck him, Cedric, wreck him.
Position, but at least get a little bit more.
No, I think I did that enough at Bristol.
Laps to go here tonight. It is still.
Thank you.
John Forbes up front. Vincent Sora
no problem, brother.
Second. Danny Cochran going to be third currently.
I'm just here to push him up to John.
Your final 4 runs in 6th position.
Good luck.
Yeah, they've been saying it since the start of the broadcast. Thank you to the fans that watch week in and week out, and we appreciate so much that you come out here and watch these drivers race.
Nick, where did it all go so wrong?
Friends, loved ones. We love
the green flag.
You're supporting your drivers, and if you're rooting for someone, maybe they're not running for a win.
John said he has over 500 laps of practice from the college series.
As well, if you are enjoying the broadcast, please hit that like button if you haven't already.
God, 500 laps at this fucking track? Jesus, dude.
ISRC Larry Productions Truck Series.
Oh yeah, I respect it. I can respect it.
Remember to subscribe, hit the bell notification button to be notified when we are covering the ISRC Larry Productions Truck Series again, as we've got 12 laps to go here tonight. Cycling through some of the last couple of drivers before this race is over. It's been a good one, Zach, so far. Only 2 cautions, the stage break, and then the coming off of the restart of the stage. A quick yellow there. It's been majority clean green racing action. And it has given us a perfect race.
Oh, John Forbes is going to be a 2-time champion, first 2-time champion in the league.
And I tell you what, the sun is also starting to set in the season as we get 11 laps away. The 11 truck lead the way, looking for back-to-back championships. All the signs are pointing to John Forbes pulling this off. We still know racing, there's anything possible. It could happen here late, but right now, it's going to be tough to have that happen. Because really the only battles I've seen is around 8th, 9th, and 10th there. So that
your last lap time was at 35.66.
Here's Ari. Really the closest group that we have on track. If we're going to have an incident, most likely it will be.
And that's been the group that's been having the biggest handful for the past 15 laps. They've been grazing that outside wall, getting closer and closer each lap with themselves. Also seeing the lap car of Jesse Thornock getting involved with this group, but with 10 laps to go, John Forbes just keeps counting down each and every lap. If we take the white flag, this race becomes official, and John Forbes just has 1 more lap to go. And also, the poll of who you thought was going to win the championship has just closed. And looking at the percentage, we had a tie for the lead at 36% for John Forbes to win the championship, or Vincent Sora third in the poll counting was Nick Crawford at 18% and getting 1 vote. But hey, he had a great run this season. He's inside of the top 10. Justin Campbell at 9%. All eyes on the 11 of John Forbes. This is your typical John Forbes
Bro's
race,
3/10 faster than Vincent Star right now. Holy
Time
shit.
35.
7 seconds ahead of Vinny.
Very close to Denny Hamlin on the fact that he's willing to get aggressive if
Bro,
needed.
Forbes is 7 seconds ahead of Vinny.
When he wins a race, he dominates
Crazy.
a race. John Forbes doing something that Denny Hamlin can't do. Let's go win a championship, and he's trying to go back-to-back here tonight to win last season's championship and tonight. And it's been a good one so far, Zach, for John Forbes.
It has been picture perfect. I mean, I
Right,
continue to
Dakota,
watch
the next car is car number 20. B license. Their rating is
Please,
1.5.
I want to finish my last race.
That is tough to do, folks, to just stay locked in that each and every moment. And what that tells me is he came in here tonight with a complete understanding of this truck. He is in complete rhythm with it. He's locked in, and there's really nothing to shake him other than a possible yellow. I mean, he has been amazing so far, and if he does end up pulling this off,
I appreciate y'all sticking it out. Wasn't a very good race for us.
Be, championship, but it's going to be a statement
at all.
Say, hey, we come back next season, you got to come through me at least mile and a half racetracks.
Yeah, I mean,
pretty much sums up the season for us.
All season long, all last season, he's just been there each and every race that we've watched. And you know, with the way that this season is ran, John Forbes, when asking about this season of, you know, what would this championship mean for yourself? And he said just winning the championship would really just be a great way to cap off a decent season. I would have liked to have more wins with more of the races being capitalized, but he had a lot of second places. That he
well, at least we got Nora tomorrow night. We got 8 races left before playoffs and that, coming off P4 last week. So, see what we can do this weekend.
Okay, before I bust out again. Oh, wait, I'm just gonna go to the top.
Ayo?
Here tonight.
Hey.
Before you what?
Ayo.
No doubt. I mean, you can take seconds every single week until you get here, and then if you win it, it all goes away. It all washes away because I guess what? That championship still has your
What a shame the linking doesn't break precautions.
How many top fives? It's just really getting to this point, having the opportunity, and then taking hold of that opportunity.
You've just done a 36.00.
That's what John Forbes has just done tonight. He's
4 to go in the season.
And has built this gap. And right now, we're seeing excellence be personified with only 4 to go.
John Forbes, 4 laps to go before this season can be sealed, set, and send it into the record books as the 11 continues to run each and every lap. Still 0.2 faster than Vincent Sora. 5 tenths faster than Nick Crawford. The 11 finds speed that no one else can. And with 3 laps to go, he just needs to cross the line just a few more times before he can hoist the trophy for the 2nd time in his career in the ISRC Layer Production Truck Series.
I tell you, this is when the moments just start to get the little bit of shakes. You get the light foot.
All right, coming at you to go here.
A little bit of bit and emotion starts to trickle in, especially when they have the gap that he has. Right now, his focus is coming back around. He needs to do 3 more miles, and he will look to be a champion. Is Malarkey up ahead of him a little bit loose? That is not what he wants to see.
Not at all, but that is not just one driver who's having issues. That is throughout the field. Drivers are losing the handling, but 1 more lap, 1.5 miles to go.
Okay, Dakota, we're in a lucky dog position right now.
Flag, and then it's all about who crosses for the checkered.
White flag on the season here. John Forbes is going to be your season 6 champion after this final lap here. Congrats to him.
And now, just exiting out of turn number 4. Look up to that flag stand. The white flag is being held. John Forbes, 1 more lap to
White
go.
flag, 1 more lap.
Points the championship.
He's got a 9-second
21st
lead
for
back
us
to the
in the
group
season.
behind him. He can have cruise control, let it all sink in, and just get back to the flag stand. You'll be the first 2-time champion here at ISRC.
Good run,
John
John.
Forbes has been
Good season, everybody.
He was first in top 5
Good
finishes,
job, John.
2nd in top 10 finishes.
Good win, John. Next
tonight.
season, I'll take those good
And
facts,
this
please.
race for John Forbes was all about
Congrats,
find
John.
your markings, hit your points, and you'll find yourself a champion. He ends a streak.
Nice.
He
Good,
continues
thank you.
another. John Forbes is the back
Good stuff, John.
ISRC Lariat Production Truck Series champion.
What a drive, Sam. I tell you what, man, You know, I felt like John was going to be one of those favorites. Him, Vince, and Sora, I feel like circled as the two favorites coming
Good
in
job
here
there, John.
But I tell you what, he
Good run
crushed
there, Ollie.
all my expectations. And I mean, completely dominated
Good run there, Justin.
performance.
Thanks for
That's
racing
the way
clean.
you win.
John is now the very first ever two-time champion. He is a back-to-back champion, and he will continue.
Tough way to end the
Someone
season.
push me to my friend.
3 championships
Yeah,
in a row,
that's
with Nick Crawford winning
four.
the first one
Sorry,
in season 4, and
two.
John
Yep.
won back-to-back.
Box
The
now.
team's happy. John's
Been a pleasure
happy.
running with you
I think
guys
that
again
it
this
stays
season.
happy for the fact that it stayed green.
Yeah,
and
man,
enabled
you as
the
well.
strength
You
of
guys
the
too.
11 to prove out.
See what next season holds.
Victory. John Forbes gets
Yeah,
to
what's
enjoy
the
this one.
word on
Burn
it?
it
Or,
down
like,
for
time
the
frame and stuff?
11.
I'm not
Your
sure.
back-to-back
I have no
champion
idea yet.
is gonna have some fun. For us, though, up in the booth,
But-
we
Good win,
will
John.
step away
Yeah, it's
when
cool.
we come
That's
back.
cool to
We
have
will talk to our top
non-commitments here
three,
for
and as well
a
as
few weeks.
Spotlight Driver
Yeah.
to get their thoughts on
Told you
tonight.
that dealer, no
the
deal
way the
luck.
season went down. Congratulations to your season 6
Oh.
champion.
See you guys
John
next time.
Forbes
All right, boys,
gets to
take it
have
easy.
some fun with
Later.
his teammates. Enjoy it. We'll be back right after this.
Well, that's pretty much gonna end it for our season there. Go ahead and cut that off. P21, not really the result we wanted, but is what it is. We sped on pit road, screwed ourselves, so. But we'll be back tomorrow night for Nora Cup
I'm about to
Series
get sick and tired of hearing we can hear the damage on every pit stop I do.
at New Hampshire, so hopefully we can come in with another good finish and gain some more points for the playoffs. But yeah. Until then, see you guys tomorrow night.